What's up guys, it's Champazar with the Card Care Academy, and today I'll be illustrating how to do the bead drill technique, which is a heated glass tool used for things like creases. So this is a glass tool with a precision tip created by Professor Douglas at Dream Eater Card Care. He created this glass tool and the bead drill technique. So you're going to need the bead drill item itself, you're going to need some acrylic plates. Parchment paper is optional, I've done it with and without both. And another very important piece is a piece of Eva foam or Castleman foam to put underneath the card. But most important maybe even is the acetate paper. This will serve as the barrier between the card and the heated bead drill tip. This will allow you to safely transfer the heat to the card. And you also need to hydro pump your card, which is 6 sprays of card spray on the 2 Castleman or Eva foam mats between parchment paper and acrylic plates for 2 to 4 hours, or maybe even longer depending on how you like to do things. This is to ensure the card is nice and wet and malleable before treating it with heat. You'll then take a torch or a lighter of some kind and heat the tip of the bead drill for a few seconds until it glows red and gets it nice and hot. Now at this point you don't go directly to the card. What you do is you get the bead drill item a few seconds to cool down, as you see me tapping it on the acetate paper, and if it burns the acetate paper while it's still like that, that means it's too hot and it'll burn the card if you do that. So you wait until it stops actually touching and burning the acetate before you start applying it to the card directly. When the bead drill tip is first heated, it is very susceptible to heat and it gets very hot. That's why you gotta give it a few seconds to cool down. But once it's cooled down, you then start applying it to the crease right on top of it, and I do little side-to-side motions just to help get the heat into the card. You don't want to use too much pressure to avoid damaging the card. And another thing with the bead drill is that it only holds heat for a limited amount of time, so you do have to reheat it periodically. So with bigger creases, you have to go back and forth between heating it, letting it cool down, and going back to using it on the crease or whatever you're working on before you reheat it again, because it can only hold heat for so long. But it's this added control in the way that it quickly loses heat that makes it a safer alternative to something like the heat pen, which can be very destructive at its high temperatures. With the bead drill and acetate, you can actually let it cool down and you get down to the heat you need it at for a few seconds to get a few seconds of repair on the crease. You'll essentially keep doing this over and over until you go the entire length of the crease if you're working on one. It took me a little while to do it for this Vaporeon, as I had to get back to reheat the bead drill tool and just go back to work. So it's a very somewhat tedious but methodical approach to treating a crease. But it can yield very good results, especially with the way heat works on certain cards, as it helps relax and unwind creases to lessen and reduce them. Items like the heat pen and card restoration are known for potentially burning and damaging the card, and the bead drill can do that too if you use it immediately after heating it up. But if you're careful and you practice a lot, you can actually let it cool down and use it very effectively, and you'll actually kind of create a little indent over the area of the crease where you work from the pressure of the bead drill's tip. And then after you're done working on it, I like to take a face roller and a penny sleeve on top and roll it out from the back. This is essentially to level back out that dent you made with the bead drill tip and push it back out and pop back out to the front so it comes back level when you do the drying process, however you choose to dry. As you're working on it, just remember to practice safety as you are using a heated lighter or torch to heat the tip. The bead drill tip can get very hot, so don't burn yourself, and don't burn the card if you're using it. As I said, let it cool down for a few seconds, tap it on the acetate paper until it no longer really burns the acetate, and then with the card underneath the acetate, apply pressure with the tip of the bead drill right on top of that crease with a little side-to-side motion to help it treat that crease. I did 2 rounds of bead drill on this Vaporeon, and it got a great reduction on that crease, and if you look to the left, you'll actually see a little circle right there, kind of like an indent, where I actually burned the card to show the risk of using the bead drill when it's too hot, as it will burn right through the acetate paper. My name has been Champazard, in collaboration with the Card Care Academy. Thank you so very much for watching.